I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me. This is fantastic.
Yes, I love Mrs. America pageant. It's very,
Good.
For me, it's a great pageant with Mrs. World. For women, it's a great pageant. And we have, all candidates have a great platform. And inside pageant, it's not only Miss, it's Mrs. too.
Absolutely. Exactly, because it's part of your family. There's something like with wisdom that happens as you get a little bit older and you're married and you think about others a little bit more. And I think that's why I'm loving being a part of this program.
And we have for a lot of girls, we have a great background, a great history. And so I have learned about you because I have interviewed Mrs. Delaware before you, Tetra, and she said me, it's your first pageant.
It is my first pageant.
And when Tetra said me, yeah, Mrs. Pennsylvania, America, it's the first pageant for her. Oh, I said, yes, a fresh woman, not a veteran pageant, and I love that.
Oh, I kind of do too, because I think it's like when you're pregnant for the first time, everyone looks at you so differently. They're like, oh, is this your first? And you're like, yes. And you're like, oh, so special. And then the second kid and the third kid, they're like, oh, you got this, no problem. Yes. Hi, I am Ashley Meyers. I am a wife and a mom of 3. I'm also a fashion stylist, and you'll see me live on QVC as well as local news channels bringing you fashion tips and tricks.
And you are on QVC like April, Mrs. World 2012?
Yes.
It
does actually help. Yeah, it does, because you learn how to speak and really present in a way that's like focused and kind of on point, and still be yourself, because when it's live, you can't be anything but yourself. So it's just more of like a very like specific version of you. You get right to the point, you say what you need to say, and then you kind of move on.
And my first question is, why did you decide to enter in pageantry now?
Exactly. That is the best question ever. And truly, my answer is COVID. I think part of me was so sad during lockdown and not being a part of something. And, I felt like I had lost a lot. And I made a promise to myself to say yes to things that came into my life that were uncomfortable, because I missed putting myself out there. And so when I got tapped in to do this pageant, I was like, at first, my gut reaction was like, no, this is not really who I am. And then she's like, but Ashley, like, this is everything that you've been saying, like, say yes to this, because this is part of the new version of you. And that's exactly why I'm doing this. And it made sense too. Like, once I actually really thought about it, I was like, this is a great place for me to have fun, meet new people, get dressed up, and also talk about my philanthropies and what I'm doing on a daily basis, which is building confidence and empowering women. And it like almost made so much sense when I finally was like, okay, yes, I'm doing it. No, so I am not a fashion designer. So I like to represent other fashion designers as a stylist. So I'll borrow their things and talk about them in my normal life. But for this, I went out and I bought a dress, and I felt very fabulous. It was red, strapless down to the floors, all sequins. I mean, I really felt amazing. It was so much fun.
And for the national in November, you take the same, or you have another designer, or you design your dress again?
So a little bit of both. Yeah. So I actually went out shopping for a new dress, but I think I'm going to customize this dress. I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but I actually think I will customize it a little bit more, so it has more of a personality that says me.
Okay. Can you define your style?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I kind of embrace every style. It depends on my mood of the day. I'm a little bit more like boho chic, I would say, in the traditional mom life version of myself. I love very relaxed and flowy clothing. But when I get all dolled up, I really like to go glam. So you'll see me in red lipstick. I'm not afraid of like a nice fitted dress or sequence or anything that's sparkly that, will turn people's heads. Cause I actually like that in fashion. I want it to have a statement. So I'm not afraid of that. Oh my gosh, right? Because we all have to keep up. At 42 years old, I definitely have a very long list that I do. But my biggest secret is just I started in my 30s. I started using a prescription level of skincare called retinol that really changed my life. And lots of moisturizer and sunscreen. With my complexion, I need to wear sunscreen every day, even through the winter. Absolutely. So it's three. I have two girls and a son. My girls are 16 and 14, and my son is 12.
And your girl competitive in pageantry or not?
Actually, it is funny. My oldest did a pageant when she was a teen. She was, I think, 10 or 11 years old. Now, that was the first time I'd ever been to truly anything. And it was a good lesson to sort of see what it looks like. But it was teen, so it was very relaxed and fun, and all about the girls. Same idea. And then my middle daughter, who's 14 now, she came to my pageant just last month, and she says, I think I want to do that, Mom. I think that looks like fun. So I think we have a little bit more pageants in our life ahead of us.
Mrs. International 2021, Yolanda Stellet, say me because she is a veteran. She began in teen, and now in Mrs. she have 10 titles.
Wow.
Wow. And she said me, when you don't quit pageantry, if you love pageantry, if you enter in pageantry, you don't stop pageantry. You compete all time in your life.
Wow. Okay, so this is now my future. I'm you're
Your
you're
fu-
looking into
your
the
fu-
glass ball.
your future like mother, because two daughter we have two competition two competition.
Exactly. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm learning that kind of on the job. I'm realizing that the glam version of me is kind of taking over versus the boho chic relaxed version of me. My husband is amazing. I mean, I've been with him since I was 18, and he's known me as this kind of free spirit, say yes and go out to this world. And he's always supported that version of me. And this was no this was no change in that. He was like, wait, you're doing what? Okay, cool, go for it. And it's kind of fun because when I did the pageant and I came out for the very first time in my swimsuit, and that for me was very challenging to put the swimsuit on and go out there, because that's not my norm. Like in a dress I felt more comfortable, and I came out in that swimsuit, and I could hear my whole cheering section, and I truly heard my husband like shouting and cheering for me. And it was something I won't ever forget. I was like, wow, he really does support this. Like he really does believe in me. It felt really good.
And if you meet April, Mrs. World 2012, ask her about the reign like Mrs. World, because she said me, my husband take me an appointment to see me during my reign, because it's a full-time job. And you must prevent your husband, because if you win Mrs. America, it's the same. It's a full-time job.
I know it's a little scary to think about that part, but at the same time, I think that it's only 12 months. It's this very special time. So you know, and I relate it always back to my children because that's the part of my life that I think is so special. Like when they're a newborn and they're only little for such a short time. So you really just have to enjoy the seconds and the days as they go by because it's so fleeting. And I do hope that if this happens, I understand that it would be, you know, very much full time, but it's fleeting. So I would really like to enjoy it.
It's very new for you, but how do you manage your duty queen, your job, your family? For me, it's amazing. Are you a superwoman?
Oh my gosh, no, not at all. I cried earlier today from exhaustion, and then I took a little nap, like a 30-minute nap, and you know, a shower can change your perspective on life. But no, I think that it's real to have all those feelings throughout one day. You know, and some days are fantastic, and that's a whole day like that, and then other days are not. And I really believe that it's part of the feelings that we go, you know, up and down through life and in any circumstance, whether it's through pageantry or being a mom or, you know, running my business. But, you know, I think I'm allowed to say, like, I'm grumpy today. You know, you don't want to talk about this, like, or let's do that tomorrow. I think it's okay to do that and just be honest with the people around you. So I definitely have a smile on my face whenever I can, but I am totally real in that it's hard and it's a juggle, and sometimes you drop the ball and you pick them back up again. For me, it was an uncomfortable place to go. It was something that was so new and different that I wanted to rise to the difference, to the challenges. And, you know, I love meeting people and I love putting myself into an uncomfortable situation. So for me, it was different and weird and uncomfortable. But then once I got in it, I was like, oh, the sparkly earrings, the, you know, pretty dresses, and the meeting people. And then all of a sudden I felt really, really comfortable. And then it sort of equaled each other out in that it was the differences and then all these like similar things that I like to do. And then it became really much more about a place to show others that you can do this. And if you say yes to something that's difficult, you know, it's talking about your platform. It became another place for me to go to talk about the things that are important to me.
And what is the most difficult, to be a mother or to be a beauty queen?
That's a great question. You know, they look the same. One is much sparklier than the other, but they both require a lot. I would say the mom, you know, if I just had to actually answer it, the mom is definitely harder because it's not sparkly, and it's real and it's your heart, you know. The pageant is a place where you can grow your heart and become a better person and show your kids that there's so much more of you, but then you go back to being the mom again always. So.
And what are you proud of in your family?
I think the thing I'm most proud about is that I'm present in the moment. I definitely live my life where I'm here with you right at this moment. And then when I leave, I'm going to go pick up my kids from school. I'm going to be right there with them. And I think that that's something that has kind of slipped away in our society. I see a lot of my friends and peers that don't live in the moment. And I realize that it's hard because then you have regrets. So I'm most proud of just that simple taking time to live in the moment.
Your family and your husband, your children, you go to Las Vegas in November?
Yes, they will. So they're going to fly out Thursday and stay, I think, even in a different hotel, just to give me some space and know that they're there, but to cheer me on, and maybe go see some shows. And then we're all going to fly home together on Sunday. And my mom and dad are actually coming too.
Yeah, having family in the audience is very different. You competitive, it's a different vibe for the competition because you walk behind your family. It's very different. all candidate interview, they say me, when my family is in the audience, was in the audience, is very different.
Yes.
And she can send you a good vibe, a good energy to work and to win the crown of Mrs. America.
I would be so honored. Mine is, it's never too late. It's never too late to start a new job. It's never too late to recreate yourself, to dream bigger, to try harder, to be present. It's never, ever, ever too late. And I really believe as an adult that that's kind of where I'm living right now. I want to show people that 6 years ago, I was at home making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for my kids and driving them to preschool, and that was it. And I said to myself, I know I have so much more to give to the children and to this world. And I just got onto a path of wanting to be more and knowing that it was not too late to recreate myself.
Imagine you win the crown of Mrs. America. Which platform do you want to promote? And I imagine it's the same platform you promote during the reign, like Mrs. Pennsylvania America. What is your platform?
Absolutely. So my platform is shelters and nonprofits that help women at their hardest time. So locally, I work with Wings for Success, and then nationally, Dress for Success. And it's a program that will help women in their most raw moment when they've decided that they want to go back to work. They want to get away from an abusive family. They want to, they've had a house fire and they need to start over. And they go to these programs to get clothing, to get support for their resume, to build confidence. And that is my passion. Not while I'm even have a title, it's just my passion in my life. So I will absolutely carry that on because I see women who need help but are not asking for it yet. So they're not ready. I love these programs because these women come in and they want to do better for their children, for their family, for the community. And that's that moment that we can help them. And it's so powerful. And it's really life-changing for them and for everyone involved.
It's a platform only for United States, or it's a worldwide platform?
It is actually, well, Dress for Success is national in the United States, but there is a program nationally called I Support the Girls, so that I also help with them too. That actually is, it's slightly different in that it helps women who've been saved from sex trafficking that want to get a job beyond what their life was a few years ago. And then what we do is here in the States, we collect bras and then we send it to them, and then they actually sell the bras to make money to support their family. So that's the national platform that I've been working with. Oh, excuse me, worldwide platform that I've been working with.
Okay. And I imagine if you win the crown of Mrs. America, you go to Mrs. World. Is it a dream for you?
Okay, can I be really honest with you? I actually had no idea that if I won Mrs. America, that I'd go to Mrs. World until like 2 days ago. I was like, I thought Mrs. America was like the final, perfect moment. And so I was like, oh my gosh, Mrs. World. Wow. Now that's something. That kind of blew my mind.
Mrs. World is a great platform to become voices in the world.
Amazing. I mean, just so empowering, just listening to you tell the story of others that have gone on to that. To me, that's so empowering. It's so special. And it's really, really incredible. It really truly is. I mean, the women that I've already met through this, it blows my mind. And now that I'm following the ones that we're all going to go to Vegas together, I am so inspired by them. So I can't even imagine. I mean, it does actually blow my mind.
You can win Mrs. America and you can go at Mrs. World. If you win the crown of Mrs. America, you can refuse to go to Mrs. World. It's impossible.
You could. Yeah.
You go. It's obligation. You go to Mrs. World.
Oh, no, no, I mean, I would just keep dreaming bigger and bigger. I mean, I joke because I didn't even know that it continued on because it blew my mind. But now that it's turned on, I'm like, I got this. Okay, I got this.
I have a hard question. Do you think you can win the crown of Mrs. America this year?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely, because I feel in my heart that the only thing I can do is be myself. And, you know, being myself has led me to this moment anyway. And, you know, it's just this feeling that you get of wanting to be the best version of yourself, but just be yourself. And I feel like that's all I can do. And, you know, everyone that I talk to, I'm inspired by, and I hope to inspire them as well. So I just want to be a mirror of what they feel. So if they look at me and feel something good, like I feel that back at them. So I mean, absolutely. There isn't any reason why I couldn't, because I mean, I already want this. I'm here. I believe in it. I'm passionate about the things that I do, and my family is so supportive. And I can't even tell you, my community just in this last month, I've overwhelmed. And really, truly, the reason I cried this morning was because there was an article written about me, and it was like pictures from my elementary school and my high school and college, and it just kind of painted this picture of me as this good Samaritan. And here I am, just chugging along, like, you know, being the mom and, you know, trying to be a good human. And all of a sudden it's rewarded in this way that feels so good, that literally anyone could do this if they wanted it, because you just have to be a good person.
And why did you choose to enter at Mrs. America system and not, for example, Mrs. United States system? Because you have the chance to live in a country where the pageantry is a culture.
So great question, because, you know, I wasn't following the pageant world. I mean, now I am, but I wasn't following. So the director actually came to me and was like, Ashley, you need to do this. This is so good for you and your platform and already what you're doing. You would be a great addition to us. We want you. And explained it in a way that was like, how could I not say yes? So for me, there wasn't any other pageant except for this one, because honestly, the director, she's made the experience so much more family than than any other pageant than I could imagine, because I would just be walking in just, you know, Ashley Meyers, whereas I came in to Mrs. Pennsylvania, to Mrs. America as like a family member.
And you choose the #1 of pageantry for Mrs.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
You have the good, you have make the good choice.
Oh, I'm already so happy. Honestly, the truly it's the people, right? It's these experiences and their stories that really make it so special. Like, that's the part that I really do mean it, that I am enjoying so much already. And social media really makes it so accessible to see people's families and lives and what they're doing and and what they're wearing, you know. That's always fun for me too, as a fashion stylist. Yeah, the packing list, you know, being organized and making lists and checking it twice kind of thing. That's probably the hardest for me, because, you know, I love, like, I'm a very flow, like, feeling kind of person. So we're going to be going to, you know, there and living in a hotel. You know, I think that's the part that's going to be like, oh my God, I've forgotten like 20 things that I probably actually need. That's like in my head, stressing me out. The parts that I think that I'm most excited about are hanging out with the girls and listening to them and really being able to, like, showcase, you know, what I'm up to as well. Oh, I think it's interview day, because I really think that that's the key to everything, really being able to show who you are. And it's such a small window. I mean, we only had 4 minutes. And I was really proud that I was able to answer 5 questions within those 4 minutes, because I was able to, really share and explain, but then we were able to get to the next question. So for me, I really think that the interview is everything. Really? Is what I say. Huh. Wow. I mean, that's a bold statement. I say that we can do it all. And there is no age limit. There is no marital status. There is no other, inequality, in my opinion, that we can't do anything. And if anything, that actually motivates me even more when someone says something like that. Oh, I love people's smiles. That's where I make a connection. But it is truly what's happening inside their heart. So for me, like I said, with my interview, like that to me made the most sense, is like that moment when you're really connecting with someone and you get a little glimpse of their heart as they're speaking and telling the story, something that's so special about them that they've just shared with you. And I studied journalism in college, so asking questions is kind of in my personality as well. And so I love to get to that moment with someone, as fast as I can. And that's when I really feel a connection with someone. What do I like the most about Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Oh, I love the fall. So here it's very mountainous, lots of changing colors in the fall, and the foliage is just gorgeous. So you're driving down the highway and around you, you're surrounded by mountains that are covered in changing leaves. For me, that says Pennsylvania. And I used to live in another state for 5 years when the kids were little. We lived in Illinois, and it was very flat. And so fall happened, but you didn't get to see it like on the sides. And that's what I missed the most. And so when we moved back to Pennsylvania, I was like, oh, I felt at home in the changing seasons. I would say, yeah, it is the women, my family women. I mean, my mom, absolutely, but my 2 grandmothers were actually amazing and very they transformed me to who I am. I think that all 3 of them were so grounded, so fashionable, and also just the most loving women. Really put their lives on hold, but also showed me that you can have a life as well. And that really inspired me to be the mother, the wife, the woman that I am.
And which value of your mother and your grandmother do you want to shine on the stage of Mrs. America?
Kindness, honestly, kindness. That to me is everything, because I think it's being lost in today's world. And I want to teach my children to slow down and be kind.
And
oh, that exists. It totally does. It's difficult. I'm not going to lie. That is a challenge for sure. As a entrepreneur, as a mother, those are things that we have to talk about. My husband and I absolutely talk about them, and we have open communication. And when anything happens, we discuss it. We look at it together. There are some really great rules and regulations that have been set up that I utilize, for blocking. But as far as my children go, we really just talk about it. And I wanted to slow down the process for them. So they were the last of all of their friends to receive a phone. And honestly, my son, who's 12, doesn't even have one yet. And all of my kids have had to buy it themselves. They have to pay for it monthly. And I'm on top of their apps and their social media, because I really do believe that there is a lot of bad negative side effects that come with it. I see it because they're basically all teenagers. And I see that with our kids and our friends' kids. It is a real thing that we all should be talking about.
Do you think the power of social media is dangerous in the life?
I think it's absolutely so powerful, and it's helped grow my business and my brand and the awareness of my platform. I dream of stepping away from it, you know, so often. I'm like, oh, but it is so, so powerful too, because it can absolutely tell your story. So, you know, taking the moment to be real through the fake, you know, filteredness of it is really important. We all get sucked into that. But, you know, posting a picture with no makeup and just a message is so, so powerful. And if we all can continue to do that, not every post, I get it, but we all need to own the real moment because it's very important.
I imagine your daughter have Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. Do you control their post, the post of your daughter on social media?
So for my children's social media, you know, I really try to work with them because I don't ever want to control anything. I want it to be a relationship, this kind of flowing process, because I think that that's how we learn. So, you know, when I say yes to something that they're allowed to do on the phone with social media, it's a proud moment for them. And then we check back in and we kind of see where we are. And then, you know, we kind of let it, or like that leash, they say that in parents, you know, you kind of have to let go of the leash for a little bit. And it's just like that with social media. And then you have to pull it back in, absolutely, to do a recheck. You know, I call it like you know, we need to update your phone or whatever. And then I get in there and I check it as a parent because I think it's really important. And I know that there's a lot of parents out there that aren't doing it. And so you know, I don't want to ever control, but I definitely want to manage. Inside my purse?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I literally carry nothing with me. I am like the most, I carry my phone with me and my keys. I walk in and I've got my credit card in my phone. So I would say probably the most important thing is my credit card or my keys. I don't know. I only have 3 things.
Do you think it's very, wow, it's very amazing, your credit card?
Yeah, yes. My husband would say, we had a big day in the credit card today. What's happening?
I have the same at home.
Or it's like, where's your credit card? I'm like, you know, I can't be anything but me. I don't know.
What is the essential item do you put always in your bag and you can leave the house without?
Okay. I'm being so honest with you. My deodorant. I'm serious. Like, if you really want to know me, yep. I don't know if that's a usable clip for you or not, Melanie, but that's me.
I love you.
Absolutely. I love to run. I love to play competitive tennis. Really get sweaty and go out there and forget about what's going on and just get back into just this real, you know, fun person that just, you know, chases a ball around, you know. And then when I'm done in the hour, I feel more alive and like myself. It's a good grounding thing for me to do.
Have you some advice to give to someone who hesitates to enter in pageantry? Because it's your first con, but I imagine you have some advice for girls, for women who hesitate to enter in pageantry.
So my biggest advice is to just go for it. Say yes. Say yes to all those things that feel uncomfortable because we grow in those moments of uncomfortable. And that to me is the most powerful thing that I can show my children. I can share with my friends, share with anyone that doesn't know me, that truly is where we grow. Oh, for my fans.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. Um, to just thank you. Thank you for being a fan. Thank you for accepting me and letting me represent all of us. Thanks. So my message is thank you.